Ooh! Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Bungo Stray Dogs Season 2, Episode 9, Double Back. Last episode, Asushi was captured, taken aboard the Moby Dick, and he was told why they wanted him. It's because they wanted to find this book, and apparently he's the one that can guide them to that book. And then they also used Q to curse the whole town. There's all kinds of damages going on. The girl that had trapped them once before helped him to leave Moby Dick. He went down there, gave the doll to Dazai, and stopped that particular curse from doing damage. But then he's like, as long as they have Q, they can still curse the town, right? So Asushi's like, we need to team up with the poor Mafia, because when he was going down, he can see the poor Mafia basically protecting the town and everything. So he's like, yeah, we need to team up with them to take care of the guild. So that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider support my Patreon at patreon.com/feeling me. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. Before, I'm gonna rewatch this episode again because it was just, I really loved seeing Chuuya and Dazai work together. Like, it was so cool. It's like seeing Dazai the way, like, how he was when he was in the poor Mafia, that's how it felt like to me. Like, these two were a pair when they were in the poor Mafia, so they used to go on missions together or something or other like that. Like, they said that when they sent those two, these two destroyed an entire organization in one night or whatever. So it's like seeing that happen sort of in this particular episode. So I absolutely love it. I love any kind of episode that's focused on Dazai, and especially something that reveals a little bit more about him, like he was there when Mori killed the previous boss of the poor Mafia, because that guy, when he was on his deathbed or whatever, he's like, kill every enemy of the poor Mafia. That's my order. And then he's like, Mori was like, what about our people? He doesn't care. No matter how many people die, just go ahead and kill the enemy. And then they got like, okay, and they killed him. So I knew he did that in order to protect the poor Mafia, the members and everything. I knew he did that. And then they panned out, and then you see Dazai there with this dark look on his face, evil look or whatever on his face. And I'm like, oh, he was there. That was 8 years ago. And then when they met back up this episode, like when the boss, Mori and Dazai met back up, they were like, it's been 4 years since we saw each other. And Dazai left the poor Mafia 4 years ago. So basically he was in the poor Mafia for 4 years. Oh, no, it might be more than that. Since 8 years ago was when they killed the previous boss. But it seems like, he probably more than that. But either way, like, I love seeing how important Dazai used to be. Well, still is, of course, but used to be to the poor Mafia, like even to the point where when they met up, that interaction between Mori and the president. What was his name again? Fukuzawa, Yukichi, either way, we did the president, and then they were like, okay, let's resolve our differences, and then they started like fighting, and then like a knife at his neck, and then it sword at his neck, and it's like it was a mirage. Like, that whole thing, I absolutely love. It was so cool. Like, even after seeing that, and then they were like, the president considered Asushi's request because of how much the poor mafia has been after him, has hurt him, almost killed him, and all of that. But even with all of the things that the poor mafia did to him, he was still, excuse me, lobbying for them to join forces and everything. So that's why the president considered it, but none of them were okay with it. Dazai was not okay with it. The president was not okay with it, but he still had to give it a chance. And then so they met up with the poor mafia, and they brought their people, and then we brought our people. I didn't know that Tanizaki was there until the Mirage thing happened. So, lights no, until that happened. But yeah, that meeting did not. But then the president told Mori that they were gonna go and rescue Q, and that they should not interfere or something or other like that. But then when Mori left, it was during that conversation that Dazai mentioned the fact that he was the one that killed the previous boss, right, in front of him and whatnot. But so when they went back, and then Mori was there in the same room, you can see the blood spatter on the wall and everything, and you see that, what's his name again? That's the leader of the Black Lizard. He was there, and he didn't mind the fact that Mori killed the previous boss, because he was just being the terrible boss before he died. So he was okay with it. And when Mori said that basically the guild wouldn't have been able to do all of these things if Dazai was still his right hand and one eye. I'm like, see, that's why I love me, Dazai, man. That's why I want to see more of him. I'm like, I think it's also the voice actor, the person that voices him, the way he speaks, when he goes to this level in his voice, that's sort of like, it sends a little bit of chill down your spine, like when he speaks in this certain tone, it lets you know that, okay, this guy's not someone you should be messing with, but then he mixes that with comedy. I'm like, I just love this character, man. Like, I really do. And I really want to see. I feel I wanted the shows to be about him. Mostly. I just love him. So they knew that they were gonna go after Q. That I was gonna go after Q. So at first I thought he sent Akutagawa. I don't know. I think it was because of the blackish reddish tint that sort of like pierced. Sort of like, it looked like it pierced somebody among the guild's army that were there that circled Dazai. So I think that's what I thought. That's why I thought it was Akutagawa. But I'm so glad it was Chuuya. And then they started bantering again between them two. Like, I hate you too. And it's like, I love the interaction between these two, man. Like, I really do. And then to see them work together to defeat the guild members and all of that, it was so cool. To see Chuuya use his gravity ability, and they took care of everybody. They went inside there, and then they were in front of Q, and Dazai took out he had taken Chuuya's knife before he even noticed. And before even they got to Q's room, then when they were coming down the stairs, and he's like, I hate everything. Dazai is telling Chuuya, I hate everything about you, and I feel like the only thing that I might like about you is your shoes. And then Chuuya just stops and be like, oh, really? And it's like, I'm kidding. I knew he was gonna come up with something like that. I love Dazai. So they went there, and he had taken out Chuuya's knife, and he was making it seem like he was about to kill Q, and Chuuya was also like, yeah, kill him. He had his orders were to take him back alive, But he's saying that now, seeing him and knowing that all the poor mafia people that died was because of him, that makes him like not care if Dazai kills him. But Dazai did not. I knew he wasn't gonna kill him. I wonder if there's gonna come a point. Like for now, I feel like ever since, I'm not sure, but I haven't seen Dazai kill anybody, and I feel like he hasn't killed anybody ever since he's joined the agency. That's what I feel like. So I wonder if there's ever gonna come a point where something's gonna push him and he's gonna revert back to how he was in the poor mafia and start killing people. Like, I'm wondering if that's ever gonna happen. And I feel like with a character like Dazai, I feel like that's something that is more probable to happen than not. Like he's lived his life in the darkness for such a long time with the poor mafia, killing people and everything. And he's into being the good guy, not as long as he was the bad guy. So I feel like there's a greater chance of him reverting back to that than not. And part of me wants to see that happen. But they did not kill Q. So they took Q, right? And they were going upstairs and Lovecraft was there. And Chuuya used his ability on him, but that didn't do anything. Dazai was not acting. He thought that, if he attacks him with his ability and whatnot, he can just use his to cancel it, right? But it didn't happen. And then at one point, it looked like he lost his arm. Like, did Dazai lose his arm? And then he just, this boy, he was just playing. I love the concern on Chuuya's face. Like, when he saw Dazai hurt, and he's like he saw him really hurt. He was so worried about him, So I love these two's relationship. It's like, yeah, they say that they hate each other and whatnot, and they are on opposite sides, like in different, organizations and everything, but there's still this trust between them. And it's like that moment where they figured out that Lovecraft's ability is not really an ability. They don't really know what it is, but it's not an ability, so that's why Dazai couldn't cancel his thing. And he was like, okay, we're gonna go with this particular plan. And Chuuya was resistant at first, and then he's like, have I ever has any of my strategies or whatever not work and whatnot? And he's like, yeah, I know that he hasn't. So it's like he trusts him and his ability to come up with a strategy. And then that one point where he's like, okay, I'll let you choose. And then he's like, every time you say that, I'm like, that's why I want to see this again. Like, I want to see this again. Like this, I'm gonna rewatch this episode, man. Like, I'm really going to. So Chuuya Lego used, what was it called again? Corruption. And they were like, okay, that's the true form of Chuuya's ability, where he can control gravity or whatever all around. That it's basically like he breaks the limit of whatever that he has put on himself, but that he can control himself. So he's just like launching gravity stuff. I Lovecraft, and it wasn't working, and because Lovecraft was regenerating, like each time he would pierce something, it would just regenerate almost immediately. And Dazai had his knife on what's his name, neck, and he was asking him questions about how Lovecraft's thing works, and the guy was like, I'm not gonna tell you anything, but then he mentioned something about whenever Lovecraft is like that, it's really hard to, from the outside. But then, from the outside. So that means the inside. I don't even know when he had the bomb inside of Lovecraft. Like, when the heck did he plant a bomb inside? When did that happen? Did I miss it? I'll probably notice that when I'm reading. If it was there, if they showed it, I'll probably notice it when I'm when I'm editing the reaction. So yeah, there was a bomb inside and you like and then exploded. And after Lovecraft was defeated, Chuuya was still going insane, so Dazai had to go and touch him and stop him, you know. Oh. It's like I trusted you. I trust you. I love the trust. Even though they're on opposite sides, I love the trust. Even though when they see each other, they'll be like bantering, like and stuff. I love it. I want to see more of these two together. Like I really do. But mostly I want to see more of Dazai. I love this episode. I loved it. Thank you guys for watching. And if you love this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/feelingmini. And you can also see the full length of this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pressure like a drip, drip, drip that'll never stop. Whoa. Pressure like a tip, 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 just go by.